Let's be honest, there is a mountain of leadership advice out there, and most of it is just noise. Today, we're going to cut right through all of that. We're getting to the core of what actually makes a leader effective. Let's dive in. So, get this. Right now on Amazon, there are over 14,000 books on leadership. If you decided, right now, to read one every single day, you'd be finished in 40 years. 40. That's not just information overload, it's a complete distraction. We're here to find the fundamental truth, not get lost in the weeds. Okay, so the very first thing we have to do is just throw out these old ideas. The research is crystal clear on this. Your legitimacy as a leader has absolutely nothing to do with your job title or where you sit on some org chart. It's something you have to earn every single day. And this is how you earn it. Through something called radical responsibility. It's a total mindset shift. Forget about power, forget about authority. Just focus on execution. Leadership isn't a title you hold. It's an action you take. It's a verb. And this way of thinking, well, it leads to a pretty hard truth. Look, this isn't for everyone. If your first instinct is to shift blame when things go wrong, you're not going to last. The philosophy is as brutal as it is effective. Don't complain. Don't explain. You own it. The wins, the losses, all of it. Period. No excuses. So to take on that level of ownership, it demands something huge from you, something massive. What does it really take to earn the kind of trust that makes people want to follow you, even when things get tough, really tough? The answer is, well, it's pretty jarring. A willingness to die for them. Now, obviously, we're not talking about this literally. We're talking about moral courage. Are you willing to sacrifice your own comfort, your reputation, maybe even your career for your team? Because if the answer is no, you'll always choose to save yourself. And believe me, your team will see right through it. And that willingness to sacrifice, that's the real difference between just getting compliance and actually earning commitment. See, compliance is easy. You make a bunch of rules, you demand things, and you get some short-term results. But what you're really creating is a passive workforce that stops working the second you turn your back. Commitment, on the other hand, has to be inspired. It leads to real sustainable outcomes because it's driven from the inside. Think about it. A software team ships a product, and then, without being told, they proactively go back to fix old bugs. Why? Not because their boss said so, but because they own the quality of their work. That's commitment. Building that kind of commitment isn't some big mystery. It's actually a process. It starts with understanding your why, your purpose. It's built on a foundation of solid values and integrity. It requires real empathy, leading with your heart, and building genuine connected relationships. And it's all proven by your own self-discipline. I mean, a leader who demands commitment from others but shows none themselves is just a hypocrite, right? But here's the absolute crucial point. All of those things we just talked about, all those external actions, they're all driven by something much, much deeper. Your success as a leader is ultimately governed by your internal operating system. Researchers call it your action logic. It's the mental filter that dictates every single move you make, especially in a crisis. And this is where the data gets, well, it gets brutal. 25 years of research shows that a whopping 55% of leaders are operating from a mindset that basically guarantees they will underperform. Think about that. More than half. They're stuck, and they're holding their entire organizations back. You know these people. We've all worked with them. You've got the opportunist who just sees people as tools to get what they want. You've got the diplomat who avoids conflict at all costs, even if it means sacrificing performance. And then there's the most common one of all, the expert. The brilliant technician, the smartest person in the room, who's a terrible collaborator and is terrified of anything they can't control with facts and logic. Sound familiar? This right here, this is the whole journey. An expert is fantastic at solving problems within the system as it exists. But a strategist, they step back and reshape the system itself. The expert relies on what is already known and proven. The strategist challenges the underlying assumptions of everything we think we know. One seeks efficiency. The other architects possibility. Now here's probably the most important takeaway of all this. Your mindset, your action logic. It's not fixed. You are not permanently stuck. You can absolutely evolve from being an expert or a diplomat into a strategist. But, and this is a big but, it demands deep, honest self-awareness and a ton of intentional effort. It's a choice you have to make. So, the final question is really for you to think about. We've talked about how leadership is radical responsibility, and it's all governed by that internal operating system. So, are you trapped in the efficiency of the expert, just solving today's problems? Or are you doing the hard work to evolve, to build the visionary power of the strategist? The choice really is yours.